Very good morning to one and all. Again, good morning. Good. So I hope you have understood all the things till now. Agenda for today is very simple. Place of supply. Okay, you know why to identify place of supply. So in the fresh morning, instead of revising the things, I'll directly go to place of supply. So only two sections you have to do today. That's it. 10 and 12 of IGST Act. Why you should understand place of supply is my basic question to you. Why you should understand place of supply. So when I talk about place of supply, question is why you should understand it. Because whether it is interstate supply or intrastate supply depends on two factors. What are those two factors? Location of supplier and place of supply. You remember the invoice which we had seen? The Indigo's invoice on the initial day, first day of the batch, we had seen Indigo's invoice. So Indigo's invoice, location of supplier was Karnataka, place of supply was Maharashtra. That's why the GST they were charging was IGST because it was interstate supply. So to identify whether a transaction is intrastate or interstate, I should know location of supplier and place of supply. Okay. So you cannot keep on guessing place of supply that okay, consumption would have happened in this state. So that is the place of supply. No. And sometimes identifying consumption is also challenge. Means flight started at Pune, reached at Bangalore. Flight started at Bangalore, reached at Pune. So basically, whether Bangalore or Pune, there are multiple place of supplies in this case. Means you cannot identify, you cannot guess like this. You need to have a structure made to identify this place of supply. That structure is in section 10 and section 12. Okay. So first talking about importance of place of supply. Importance of place of supply. So do you agree that place of supply will fix the place of consumption? So place of supply will fix what? Place of consumption. So when it fixes place of consumption, it will fix place of consumption, and you know what will happen? Therefore, it will help to identify, therefore it will help to identify what? Whether transaction is intrastate or interstate. Any doubt in this? Whether transaction is intrastate or interstate. Clear? If so, this is 50% factor identifying place of supply. Another 50% factor is knowing the location of supply. Okay. So, in short, what is intrastate supply? Intrastate supply is LOS and POS. Location of supplier and place of supply is in, yes, absolutely, is in same state, or it is in same UT. UT, it is in same state or same UT is what? Intra-state. Okay, just one sec. Now this is not visible, na? Go to page of place of supply in your provisions and concepts book. Okay, there already we have made the notes. We can refer to that. Got it? See, did you get it? It would be PDF's which page number? It would be PDF's page number about 66. Did you find place of supply? So see, read it from there. Read it from there. Importance of place of supply. GST is destination based, consumption based, indirect tax. Okay, therefore, location of consumption matters. Place of supply determines such location where consumption has taken place. Say in case place of supply in a transaction is identified as Maharashtra, then what will happen? 50% of the GST will go to central government and balance 50% will go to state government of Maharashtra. Clear? Dual model of GST. Hence, in order to identify whether transaction is intrastate or interstate, you'll have to identify place of supply. That is the importance of your place of supply. Now see these examples. I have given you how many examples? Just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 different examples. See, in first example, location of supply is West Bengal. Location of supply is West Bengal. What is the place of supply? West Bengal. So it is intrastate. There will be charge of CGST plus SGST in bracket write down West Bengal. It will be SGST of West Bengal. Next, if location of supply is Maharashtra, if location of supply is Maharashtra and place of supply is Gujarat, what it is? It is an interstate supply. There will be charge of IGST. Clear? Then location of supply is Delhi. Place of supply is Delhi. Means what? Intrastate. So there will be charge of CGST plus SGST. Mind you, SGST in bracket Delhi. SGST of Delhi. Delhi is actually union territory. But Delhi has its own. Delhi has its own state government. Delhi has its own legislature. Delhi has its own legislature. So that's why in Delhi there will be SGST, not UTGST. Okay, so this is an exception. Then Puducherry, that is Pondicherry. Location of supply, place of supply, same. Again, this is also UT. But in this case also, it has its own state legislature. So there will be charge of CGST plus SGST. Now, if you take example of Chandigarh, what is Chandigarh? Chandigarh is actually UT. And place of supply also Chandigarh. Now, there will be charge of CGST plus UTGST. Understood? Then, Delhi is location of supplier. Place of supply is Chandigarh. So what will happen? Delhi, Chandigarh is interstate. There will be charge of IGST. Okay. Now understand. Next, to some extent you will understand the next now. Maybe not to the extent of 100% right now. Location of supplier Andhra Pradesh. Place of supply Andhra Pradesh. But location of supply is in domestic tariff area. Domestic tariff area means non-tax incentive zone. Non-tax incentive zone, and place of supply is in Andhra Pradesh's SEZ, that is special tax incentive zone. Getting it? Now in such case, SEZ is deemed to be foreign territory. SEZ is deemed to be foreign territory. Hence, this is called as interstate supply. Even though physically it is in India, even though SEZ is physically in India, it is deemed to be foreign territory. And so this transaction happens to be interstate supply. Okay. And on this, there is no GST. It is zero rated. Zero rated means on this, there is no GST because it's like you are exporting. And now, exact opposite transaction. There is a SEZ in Karnataka and there is a DTA in Karnataka. DTA stands for domestic tariff area. Domestic tariff area. And SEZ stands for special economic zone. Special economic zone. Special economic zone, SEZ. So from SEZ of Karnataka, service is given to one domestic tariff area entity in Karnataka. What is this? It is like in India we are importing. So it is with supply interstate. There will be charge of IGST. Then location of supply Germany. Place of supply Mumbai. What it is? It is actually import. So it is interstate. There will be charge of IGST. An exact opposite transaction. Location of supply Mumbai. Place of supply Germany. What will happen? Location of supply Mumbai, place of supply Germany, what will happen? It is interstate. There will be charge of IGST. Okay. So anyways, now in this highlight the column of place of supply. Highlight the column means that word of place of supply. Highlight that because that's what we want to learn in this topic. Location of supply is simple. Where that supply is actually registered in GST. That is its location. Where is registered in GST is the location. Now challenge is about identifying place of supply. So start with section 10. 10 is place of supply of goods. In what case? Other than in case of import and export. Import export you will learn at final. And also then we will do 12, which is place of supply of, yes, place of supply of services, where both supplier and recipient of supply are in India. Start with 10. Can you see serial number 1? So actually there are two subsections, 1 and 2. That's it. Only first subsection matters to us. Only first subsection matters to us. In first subsection there are 6 clauses. So right, in short 6 cases. There are 6 different instances where government wants to tell us what is the place of supply. For example, first serial number, can you see? That is your clause A. That is your clause A. Did you see clause A? What is clause A saying? Place of supply in which case? Where supply involves movement of goods. Means very obvious case. You can, if you just turn back, you will see so many vehicles making a movement. Why? Because they are transporting goods. You can see so many goods vehicle making a movement on this highway. So you can see they are transporting goods from one location to other. So in short, for goods, supply is always involving movement. Mostly for goods, there will always be movement involved for supply to be complete. You will order goods. Okay. So you are sitting in Karnataka, you will order goods from Maharashtra. What is the place of supply? How? Logically think now. You are sitting in Karnataka, you are ordering goods from Maharashtra. What is the place of supply? Where you are consuming the goods? Karnataka. That's the place of supply. I'll give you reverse example. I am sitting in Maharashtra. I am ordering goods from Delhi. I am sitting in Maharashtra. I am ordering goods from Delhi. What is the place of supply? Maharashtra. Understood? So simple. Place of supply is what in such cases? So where the supply involves movement of goods. Can you underline supply involves movement of goods? So where supply involves movement of goods, what is the place of supply? It is location of the goods. Underline location of the goods. But at what time? At the time at which movement of goods terminates. Terminates means ends for delivery to the recipient. Okay. I'll give you one more example. Goods are sent from Mysore to Karnataka or to Bangalore. What is the place of supply? Bangalore. Someone is still saying Mysore. Where the yes, where the goods terminate for their delivery, where it is terminating. It is terminating at Bangalore. So place of supply has to be Bangalore. And location of supply was Mysore. Place of supply is Bangalore. It is in same state. So there will be charge of CGST plus SGST. As simple as that. Okay. Next. Second case. Where the goods are delivered to recipient. Can you see? Now second case. Actually, I want to be explained on the board actually systematically. So second case we'll have to keep it pending for some time. That is 10.1b. 10.1b. Because for that you'll need to understand with diagram. Okay. But see the next one. Third case. Right now see the third case. What is third case about? Where there is no movement of goods. Why there is no movement of goods? There is no movement of goods because you are just selling pre-installed goods. Yesterday I told you example of pre-installed goods. Yes, the furniture in this classroom is sold along with classroom. Place of supply is what? Place of supply is location of such goods. Obviously, location of such goods when they are delivered to the recipient. Simple, as simple. So very obvious. I mean, there is no rocket science in this. Then fourth is clause D. What is fourth? That is actually a clause D. Where the goods are assembled or installed at a site. Okay, means what? In a factory, the goods are to be assembled or installed. What is the place of supply? Place of supply is that location where the goods are assembled or installed. Okay. And lastly, can you see? Fifth is your E clause. Yes. Fifth is your E clause. You are flying on Indigo Airlines and you buy some packed food. Means I am talking about some goods. Packed food will become goods. For example, they sell a tin box of cookies, tin box of some dry fruits. You buy that. So what are you doing? You are buying some goods when you are on board of the conveyance. So what is the place of supply in these cases? So see what is the case? Case is where the goods are supplied on board of a conveyance. Conveyance means it can be, flight, it can be train. So in these cases, what is the place of supply? So like vessel, aircraft, train, motor vehicle. Now in such cases, we cannot track the exact location, na? Because on flight the goods are bought. So what will be the place of supply? So it will be place where such goods are underlined taken on board the conveyance. Taken on board the conveyance means where they are loaded on the conveyance. Please write there in bracket where they are loaded on conveyance. Loaded on conveyance. Suppose flight is Pune Chennai. Flight is Pune Chennai. And the supplier means the one who sold the goods to Indigo Airlines. He loaded the goods at Pune. Then what is the place of supply? Then always place of supply is Pune for these goods. They might be bought somewhere when the flight was flying from Pune to Chennai. And mind you, same flight will afterwards operate as Chennai Pune flight. Place of supply for these goods will continue to be where the goods are taken on board. Taken on board means not actually consumed, but where they are loaded on the conveyance. So because government says we will need to give you guideline for this. Otherwise, every time you will keep guessing what is the place of supply. So guideline is that where the goods are taken on board of the conveyance. Okay. So now we'll switch on the projector.